This has been one of the big failures around the aftermath of the wildfire on Maui, is this total vacuum of.
Yet again, this has been one of the enormous disappointments around the result of the fierce blaze on Maui, is this all-out vacuum of data from government authorities to individuals at how much cash that was unintentionally shipped off Ukraine, like they oversent $6 billion. And afterward, I said, well, how much would it cost to modify each house in the Maui shoot? And it's 5 billion, something like that is very much like coincidental cash. Yet there's no discussion of doing that. There's no discussion of doing that in that vacuum. Clearly, individuals have a wide range of thoughts or hypotheses. Or either yet individuals were left with no sort of correspondence from anybody in a influential place to give assistance to long stretches of time. Now this lady has worked in gathering pledges for quite a long time, so she really went through the receipts, so she will separate what this asset truly is. We're not talking about she's not giving cash. What I'm talking about is she's a tycoon, period. Don't I'ma let you know right presently. Don't come in that frame of mind's over. Don't come in that frame of mind. In the latest episode of the Joe Rogan Experience, our sincere web recording host Joe Rogan stood out as truly newsworthy by dropping an astounding stunner. He recommended that news magnate Oprah Winfrey may be associated with obscure land bargains. Explicitly, she's been looking at properties possessed by people, got up to speed. In different debates, the Maui fires have left a local area in strife with numerous kids impacted by the misfortune and mysteriously gone. And the association with the continuous worries encompassing Oprah Winfrey is without a doubt reason to worry. Joe Rogan and a few other exemplary VIPs have attempted to caution us endlessly time again about how these Hollywood elites would successfully continue to fill their well of wealth. And Oprah is associated with being associated with this horrible occurrence. Might she at any point be benefiting from these calamities? Or even perhaps behind them? While these cases are unquestionably dubious, we should analyze the charges and proof that have powered this conversation first. It's a sin to comprehend the setting, particularly in regards to Oprah's land interests in Hawaii. Did you had at least some idea that Oprah Winfrey has been catching Maui land like it's the most recent smash hit? She began with an astounding 520 section of land piece. Then, at that point, added one more 330 sections of land. Oprah is known to possess different properties in the district, and a few pundits contend that these buys could permit her to benefit monetarily from such debacles. It's obviously truth that property estimations frequently ascend after misfortunes, making this a huge disputed matter. One tweet, for example, brought up the issue of whether Oprah would exploit the Maui fires to buy more land. The tweet referenced that the flares had immaculate her current property and sections of land in Maui. Such cases have driven some to conjecture whether Oprah could have insider data or contribution in the episodes to give setting. It's significant that in 2023 Oprah obtained a significant 2,000 section of lot of land on the island, which has simply added to the interest. The hypothesis reaches out to paranoid fear, proposing that persuasive figures, including Oprah, might have purposely ignited the fires to procure significant Maui land, possibly dislodging native networks. These cases are energized by perceptions that the fires excessively impacted Maui's common regions while saving more princely properties. Some even propose that the fires were decisively lighted to drive down property costs, making it simpler for well-off people or associations to secure land at diminished rates. Strangely, during this land purchasing binge, an unexpected fire bafflingly cleared out neighboring homes while leaving her tremendous properties. Sound a remarkable happenstance, wouldn't you say? The association's acquisitions and timing make for some captivating something. To think about this is certainly a subject worth investigating further. Joe Rogan claims his data is totally genuine. Rogan conveyed this data with all in all an enthusiasm expressing that Oprah has been unobtrusively getting lands from people who have wound up in lamentable conditions, the unavoidable issue, at the forefront of everybody's thoughts. What's her rationale? It's all fairly curious and profoundly dangerous. These claims have set off a hurricane of responses. Online devotees of Oprah have raced to her guard, excusing Rogan's cases as ridiculous anyway. Given the gravity of these charges, there's additionally a developing require an exhaustive examination. Concerning the matter, the earnestness of these cases isn't to be trifled with. Following the surprising cases made by Joe Rogan on the Joe Rogan Experience in regards to Oprah Winfrey's supposed land dealings, Oprah's group has given an authority proclamation tending to the matter. The assertion starts with profound misery and frustration in the unmerited allegations against Miss Winfrey. It stresses Oprah's deep-rooted obligation to elevating others and contends that such unwarranted cases just occupy from the current main problems. The assertion explains that the supposed land buys are erroneous, as well as a critical distortion of Miss Winfrey's personality and her well-established proficient and individual qualities. They ask both the media and the bar public to basically analyze the wellsprings of such cases and empower dependable and truth-based detailing. Many have lifted up Oprah in media outlets featuring her long stretches of magnanimity and administration anyway. Some have voiced worries about the developing spread of unconfirmed data, especially in the time of virtual entertainment and computerized correspondence. At this point, Joe Rogan's group has not given a reaction to Oprah's assertion, and the circumstance stays under a magnifying glass, with many enthusiastically anticipating further explanations from the two players. Oprah Winfrey professed to have given $10 million to help the survivors of the Maui fierce blazes. Anyway, ongoing disclosures feel a little unsure on the precision of her cases. Oprah and Dwayne "The Stone" Johnson at first reported a $5 million project called Individual's Asset of Maui. This statement appeared to be in conflict with Oprah's explanation that she was committing $10 million to the reason to explain what is happening. Oprah expressed that the association was laid out to acknowledge commitments to give monetary freedom to people impacted by the out-of-control fires anyway. This clarification didn't address half of the guaranteed $10 million. Convoluting matters further, Dwayne Johnson mentioned extra gifts, proposing that the underlying $5 million had for the most part filled in as seed cash for their venture. This advancement brings up the issue of why the overall population is urged to give when a huge gift has been made. The center issue is that Oprah and the Stones' $5 million gift shows up more centered around drawing in additional commitments, a technique similar to customary organization new businesses. We've been meeting with local area pioneers, our Papua note, for the recent weeks. This raises questions about whether the whole $10 million was really planned for guaranteed help to the casualties. Especially concerning is that media outlets' establishment, a non-benefit association, is entrusted with dealing with the Maui asset. To place this in context, the association's top chief, including its leader, president, and CFO, gets strong yearly compensations. 13 of its chiefs, by and large, acquired $3.2 million every year, while different representatives have a typical compensation of $64,527. As disclosures keep on arising, worries about Oprah and the Stones' actual expectations are filling in this period of scarcity. You need to deal with the best need of individuals, and that is given them. Cash reports demonstrate that the AIF oversaw reserve has just dispersed roughly $1,200 to those impacted. The idea for progressing public commitments brings up additional issues, raising the likelihood that the unmistakably referenced $10 million might have served more as beginning startup capital for the asset than direct guide to the discharge casualties. In the most recent episode of the Joe Rogan Experience, have Joe Rogan had a real-to-life discussion with previous Representative Tulsi Gabbard. They dug into a major problem that has caught the consideration of Maui occupants. These two conspicuous figures raised claims that the nearby populace is confronting a deliberate relocation from their tribal terrain civility of secret government drives. And a few Hollywood elites, Rogan, a man known for his straightforward methodology, got straight to the point. He communicated his profound worry about how habitually we hear accounts of the little man being squashed by regulatory hardware. The inhabitants of Maui have a rich history attached to that land, and he finds it profoundly disturbing to see them being constrained out without clear support. Gabbard, whose roots are profoundly entwined with the